Hey guys, Bobby D here, and I've been a professional Elvis tribute artist for 3 years now, and today I'm going to teach you how to do your Elvis makeup. The first step that we want to do is we want to put the eyeliner on. Now, why use eyeliner? Because it brings out the character of the eyes. They say that eyes are the window to the soul. And when you're doing Elvis, one of the big things about Elvis is you want to connect and convey your message to the audience. Now, after lining the bottom, we'll line the top. Now, I have very sensitive eyes, so as you can see, I have a hard time keeping them open there. And maybe, that's because I'm part Asian, but anyway. Now, if you're like me and you can't keep your eyes open, then you can just carefully brush it across the top, like what I'm doing right here. It may take a little bit, but, you can't rush perfection. And then fill in any spots that you may have missed. As you can see, I'm carefully and methodically filling in the spots that I may have missed. Now, right here, you can see the difference between my right eye and the left eye, and how much it pops. Now that we've got the right eye done, we'll begin to do the left eye. I like to start with the bottom and then proceed to the top. Just like Drake, you start from the bottom, now we're here. Now, any smidges in excess, we can take a makeup wipe and wipe that off. Now, as you can see, with our eyes lined, you can see how much it brings out the features. Now, next up, we'll do the mascara. Now, the mascara will make the eyes feel fuller, they'll make them pop, make them more dramatic, and will really give you an appearance of looking awake when we're on stage. Now, first, we'll start with the top and brush upwards. Then we brush downwards doing the bottom one, and sometimes I do this and sometimes I don't, depending on how thick your eyelashes are. And right there, you can see the difference between the right and the left eye. Now, we'll begin to do the left eye. Now that that's done, look at how much character we have in the eyes. Now, next up, we'll do the eyeshadow. Now, the eyeshadow adds depth, dimension, and enhances the overall look of the eye. Now, as you can see here, we have 4 different color shades, and I'm going to tell you what all they mean. Now, first step, we want to take our little paddle and brush that up against the lightest color. Then we'll begin to brush that in between the space between the eyelid and the eyebrow. We want to brush it in there really good, leaving no area unbrushed. And we want to go lightest color to darkest color, so when we apply the darker color to the eyelid, it'll really bring depth and dimension to our eyes and make it pop. Then we'll do the same thing to the left eye and begin to apply the lighter color in between the eyelid and the eyebrow. Now, next, we'll flip our paddle over and dip it into the darker color so that we don't mix colors. Then we will begin to apply that to our eyelid. Then we'll do the left side, and as you can see, it's making our eyes really pop. Now, we'll take the other side of the paddle and we'll dip it into the glittery, more shimmery part. And I recommend using the lighter color on the top and the darker color on the bottom. And this will really give it a more glittery, more shiny feel. Then we'll do the left side, and remember the lighter part of the glittery shimmer, we'll do that in the part between the eyelid and the eyebrow, and the darker, shiny, glittery shimmer on the eyelid. Now, next up is the foundation. Now, there's 2 types of foundation. There's liquid and then there's powder foundation. This is the powder foundation. Now, this first part is optional and you can go straight into the skin tone foundation. But I like to do this first part using the purple powder foundation because it color corrects and gets rid of imperfections and undertones in the skin. So after dipping our sponge in the purple powder, we're going to rub that across the red parts of our face. Cover it all, nose, cheeks, forehead, and everything under the rainbow. So that way when we apply the skin tone foundation, it's gonna look even. And after this, we apply the skin tone foundation. Now, you can either use the powder or you can use the liquid. I'm going to use the liquid. Now, I like using the liquid better because I feel like it provides a more natural touch. Now, what foundation does, it creates an even, uniform color to the complexion, and it covers the flaws and sometimes changes the natural skin tone. Now, as you can see right here, we have the liquid foundation. Now, before we start applying, I like to have this, a brush kit. Now, you can do this without a brush kit and use your finger, but I like having the brush kit as it's more effective. It's more hygienic and it offers fuller coverage. Now, we'll start with this big brush. The big brush, the huge brush. We'll begin taking our foundation and we'll be squirting a little bit on the brush. Now, what I like to do is go little by little and just kind of like dab it on. Some people like to take a bunch and like coat it on, but I don't like that because it makes you kind of look like you belong in the wax museum. So we take a little and we keep dabbing it on like different spots, and the whole goal is to cover our entire face with foundation. Brush it in and fill in when needed, and if you need more foundation, just keep squirting it on the brush and keep dabbing it on in places to even it out. Now, this next part is where the magic happens. This is contour or concealer. Now, contour is a dark tone product that creates artificial shadows on the face. It enhances bone structure and creates a more sculpted and chiseled appearance. It manipulates light to make areas appear recessed, allowing you to lift cheekbones, slim the nose, and define the jawline. Now we're going to sculpt and do our best Michelangelo impression. No, not that Michelangelo. That Michelangelo. That's better. Now look at that face. Some of the women in the audience just fainted just looking at that. And that's what's going to happen if you follow this tutorial at your shows. Now, with the magic of the contour, we're going to shape our face and make it look more like Elvis. Now, this is what it says about Elvis's face, and we're going to apply contour to some of those areas to give us more of the appearance of Elvis. Now, first, we're going to take our concealer brush, because we want a smaller brush than what we used with the foundation brush, because we need to be more precise with this. Now, just like with Cam Newton, we're going to dab it on a little on our brush. Now, we'll start by begin applying this around our cheekbones. This is going to conceal our cheekbones and bring them up, giving us more the appearance of Elvis. Now that we got the cheekbones done, we want to take it up along the edges of our sideburn line and on the sides of the forehead. We're going to spread it in and really make sure we don't miss a spot. Also, let's make sure we do the other side. Here's me doing the other side so you guys can get a different angle and a different look. And also, I suggest having good lighting doing this as it makes the process much easier. Now that we've covered the top part and the cheekbones, let's rub it in around the sideburn lines and make sure we conceal those spots. Now, as you can see, we're starting to get that Elvis look with the high cheekbones, and it's concealing some areas and creating that illusion. Now that we've done the cheeks and the forehead, we're going to do the nose next. Now, Elvis had a thinner, long nose, so we're going to cover the sides of the nose to give us that illusion, leaving the bridge of the nose open, like a bridge over a troubled nose, and touch up any parts that we may have missed, and voila, look at that. We're starting to get that Elvis illusion. Hey, that guy looks like Elvis. And that's the wonder of contour. Now, next up, we're going to darken the sideburns. Remember the mascara that we use for the eyelashes? Well, we can also use that for the sideburns. Now, I know some ETAs have fake sideburns and sideburns that look good that they use for performances, but if you're like me and you don't have that, this is what you can do to enhance that and give that illusion better, as basically it just darken the sides of these sideburns and make it look realistic. We don't want to go too dark on it to where it looks like tar, but we just basically want to fill it in to make it look more full and look more like Elvis. And you can really see the difference from when I first started, how you can see it looks more like Elvis. It's kind of dark. Now, this is for 70s if you want to go that low. Now, if you're doing 50s Elvis, you want to go to just underneath the ear. You want to trim your sideburns with a straight razor. Now, next up, we are going to add some highlighter. Now, I like using this brush that's even smaller than the contour brush, the eyeliner brush. because we need to get even more precise with this. Now, basically what the highlighter does is add a luminous, radiant glow to the skin by reflecting light. So it creates the appearance of a more lifted, sculpted, and youthful complexion. Now we can apply this to the high points of the face, such as the cheekbones, brow bones, and the bridge of the nose to enhance our features. So we put a little bit on our brush, and we will begin brushing to where the contour line is, and that will make that glow and give it a more youthful appearance. And this should be around the top of the cheekbone. And we'll also get the sides of her nose, and you can see how it begins to pop and gives us a little bit of a glow. And then we fill in any spots that we may have missed. Now we do the lips. Elvis was known for having full lips. Now we'll take this moisturizing lip balm and we'll begin to enhance the lips, also giving us a more plumpier, smoother feel. And we'll go all around the lips and doing the moi thing, so to make sure we get it all in there. Now you can see how much plumpier my lips are and how much it pops. Now to top that off, we're gonna add lip liner. Now the lip liner defines, shapes, and enhances the lips by providing a precise, long-lasting border that prevents the lip moisturizer or gloss from bleeding or feathering. It acts as a base to increase lipstick wear time and allows for correcting asymmetry and can be used to create the illusion of fuller, more voluminous lips through overlining. Now, as you can see, we're just going to fill in the crevices of the lips and just apply that to where the lip moisturizer may have not gotten into, so we give the appearance of making our lips more full. And I also recommend having some makeup wipes around just in case you need to wipe off any smidges. Look at that, we can do the Elvis lip curl now. Our transformation is just about complete. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to use some makeup setting spray and our transformation will be complete. Now, the setting spray locks makeup in place, extending its wear while preventing fading, smudging, or melting. And we are just going to go around our face and spray it all around so it locks into makeup so we don't have to worry about it going all over the place when we're performing on stage. And this also helps when you're doing gigs in a hot place, outdoors, or if you're doing moving songs like Jailhouse Rock, Poke Salad, or Suspicious Minds. So voila, I hope this tutorial helped, and if you have any questions, just put it down in the comments below, and I'm also going to attach in the description tutorials on how to do your Elvis hair. Now, please like this video, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications, and share with your friends. And if you have any more suggestions or want to see something new from my channel, just let me know in the comments below.